you've got this little tiny world, you know, where you've got almost like blinkers on, and you're just looking at this little tiny thing that you're working on, and nothing else is going on. The sun could go down and you probably wouldn't notice.
You get a great sense of achievement and a bit of pride. I'm Graham Tolson. I served in 3-Para during the Falklands War of 1982. In particular, I fought on Mount Longdon, and now, as a consequence, I suffer with combat-related post-traumatic stress disorder.
Malcolm Childs, I'm the chairman and founder of Models for Heroes.
Making models, I find it relaxes me, it motivates me, gives me something to get up for in the morning. As a PTSD sufferer, I work to forget. A lot of the work that you do is physical, and so it's tiring, and eventually you get exhausted. It doesn't work to distract your mind like that all the time, and so modelling is ideal. Your mind is active, thinking about the next step. You don't always achieve what you think you're going to achieve.
The time just disappears, you know. I've heard stories of people who had 90-day habits, and they can sit for 3 hours and make models and not realise that they haven't had a cigarette yet, you know. And that's quite powerful, you know. It's quite a powerful draw. It's almost like daydreaming or, you know, or meditation perhaps. I will go through on the phone and talk to people and ask them what they like and what they want and what their goal is as well in their hobby. You know, quite often people say, I want to build a B-17, you know, and I'd love to display it. And I said, well, that's absolutely achievable, you know, and we'll show you how to do it.
I don't like making models from the Falklands era, although somebody has bought me a G3 Harrier, but they were just dots in the distance and don't really affect my memories directly, and so that was okay. But yeah, memories of making dioramas to put the models onto, because it's not just about making the model, it's about making the scenery and how to display it, in my view anyway. And so I've used my military experience to show some of the things that I remember. Like I've got a Russian tank in a cornfield, which is a memory from Germany back in the 1970s of trying to find a German panzer division whilst we were on exercise. And you think that they would be hiding in the forests and things like that. Eventually we smelt the tanks during patrols, and we found out they'd cut the middle of maize fields out, and they were camped up in the middle of open ground. I didn't know that I had PTSD until 1996, some 14 years after the war. The legacy it left me was more to do with the sights, the sounds, the smells, touch. They were all memories from the past that I found that in everyday life, when a noise got to a certain crescendo, or I was intimidated until I started to get stressed, I would get very angry. And sometimes I would revert back into myself and get very nervous. At the worst, I sort of think about suicide, killing myself. That I've never done that, but I have tried. And glad, really, when I'm in this sort of situation, modelling and things like that, that I haven't succeeded, you know.
Often people will message me and say, thank you very much, it's really helped me. I found a lot of peace. I've made friends. I've developed a skill. You know, I've got a skill now. I can put these things together and I can do these things. It's great. But yeah, a lot of people get a lot out of it, and it's an accessible hobby. It's a wholesome hobby. You know, it's a bit geeky, but that's fine.